All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that I think is going to resonate with a lot of you.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about, the title's kind of catchy. It's called 7 Blind Spots. What people don't know about themselves. We're going to be,
Oh, intriguing.
yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some excerpts from this. It's called, yeah.
Okay.
And it's seems to be kind of like this philosophical approach to self-awareness and personal growth and stuff.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready.
So get ready, folks, because we're going to be diving deep into stuff like why true love might not be what you think it is, or how letting go of control can actually lead to more freedom.
Okay.
We're going to unpack all of that and try to break down these maybe complex concepts into, stuff that's relatable.
Bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So blind spot number 1. Awakening is seeing hidden truth, this whole idea of being trapped in societal conditioning and living in illusions. It's like, it really kind of hit me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something that resonates with a lot of people, right? I mean,
Oh, for sure.
we grow up in a certain environment, or we're exposed to certain beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to kind of just accept those without questioning them.
Totally. And this Stone Comatose text, it really digs into that. Like, what are some of the things, that people just kind of assume are true
Right.
that maybe aren't?
Well, I think one of the big ones that the text talked about is the idea that happiness comes from external things. We're constantly bombarded with this idea that if we just have the right job or the right car or the right partner, then we'll finally be happy. And yet, I think we all know deep down that's not really how it works, right?
Right. So what's the alternative then? I mean, if happiness doesn't come from, those external things, where does it come from?
Well, the Panpandla and Kash talks about finding happiness from within.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment that doesn't depend on those outside factors.
Okay, so that kind of ties into blind spot number 2 then. Suffering comes from attachment to external things.
Right, exactly. When we're so attached to those things, those possessions, that status, that image, we set ourselves up for disappointment because, inevitably those things change. They can be taken away. And when our happiness is so tied to them, that's when we really experience suffering.
And the text talks about how to actually lessen that suffering, like how to kind of break free from those attachments.
It's about recognizing that everything in this world is impermanent. Things come and go.
Right.
And it's when we cling to them, trying to hold on, that we create our own suffering. So it's not about, renouncing all possessions or anything like that. It's about changing your relationship to them.
It's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what about blind spot number 3?
Okay.
True love comes from unconditional acceptance.
Ah.
This one's a biggie.
This is a big one. And, so often we have these very conditional views of love, right?
Yes.
We love someone as long as they meet certain conditions, as long as they behave in a certain way, as long as they make us feel a certain way. But that's not really true love, is it?
It's transactional almost.
Yeah, it's very transactional.
Yeah.
True love, according to the Panganakov, is about accepting someone for who they truly are, flaws and all.
Okay, so how do we move from that kind of conditional love to this more unconditional love?
Well, it starts with awareness, right? Recognizing those conditions that we're placing on love. And then it's about challenging those conditions, asking ourselves, are these conditions really serving me?
Yeah.
Are they serving the relationship?
Good point.
And then it's about making a conscious effort to let go of those conditions and to embrace the wholeness of the other person.
So it's about letting go of control too.
Yes, sure.
Which, speaking of
It is, yeah.
blind spot number 4, freedom comes from letting go of control.
This one can be a tough one for a lot of people, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Because, we're kind of conditioned to believe that we need to control everything, to feel safe, to feel secure.
To be successful.
Yeah.
Right.
But this text is saying the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, letting go of control is actually how you find freedom.
Exactly, because when we try to control everything, we end up creating a lot of stress and anxiety for ourselves. We're constantly trying to force things to go our way. And when they don't, which inevitably they won't always, we feel frustrated, we feel disappointed. But when we let go of that need to control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. we allow things to unfold more naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And we often find that things work out better than we could have planned.
It's like trying to control the weather, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
You just can't.
You can't control it.
So how do we, I mean, this is a big question. How do
Mhm.
we actually let go of control?
I think it's a practice, you know? It's not
Yeah,
something that
right.
happens overnight, but it starts with recognizing those areas where we're gripping too tightly. You know, where are we trying to micromanage every little detail?
Yeah.
And then it's about consciously making an effort to loosen our grip,
All
to
right.
surrender to the flow of life.
That's a good point. It's a process. It's not like a one-time thing.
It is.
Okay, so blind spot number 5. We are not what we think we are.
This one's interesting because, you know, I think we all have these ideas about who we are.
Yes.
Based on our experiences, our beliefs, the roles that we play in life.
Right.
But the Tandank Kuk suggests that our true self is much deeper than that. It's beyond all those labels and identities that we create for ourselves.
And those labels can be pretty limiting, can't they?
They can be very limiting, yeah. Because they keep us boxed in. They
Mhm.
prevent us from exploring our full potential.
So this blind spot is kind of about breaking free from those limiting beliefs about ourselves.
It is, yeah. It's about recognizing that we are not fixed or defined, but that we're constantly evolving and growing.
Okay, so that takes the pressure off a little bit, right?
It does, yeah.
Like we don't have to have it all figured out right
Oh,
now.
exactly. It's a journey.
Yeah. All right, blind spot number 6. Change must start from within, not outside.
Ah, yes. This is a powerful one.
This one, I think a lot of people are going to need to hear
I think so, too.
because, you know, it's so easy to look at the world around us
Right.
and see all the things that are wrong
Uh,
and want to change those
Mhm.
things. But this blind spot is saying, hey, you know what? Maybe the change needs to start with you.
Exactly. It's about taking responsibility for our own thoughts,
Okay.
our own feelings, our own actions. Because when we change ourselves, the world around us starts to change, too.
Okay, so it's like instead of trying to control other people or external circumstances, we focus on controlling our own inner world.
In a way, yes. It's about shifting our perspective,
Yeah.
changing our mindset.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, blind spot number 7. Living in the present is the solution to every problem.
This one's a classic.
It is. It's like we've all heard it before, but it's so hard to actually do.
It is hard. Like,
Right.
our minds are so often caught up in the past or
Yeah.
future, right?
Like rehashing old hurts or worrying about what might happen.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
the blind con reminds us that the present moment is the only moment we truly have.
Okay, so how do we stop that time traveling and actually be present?
Well, the text offers a few different practices.
Right.
One is mindfulness, which is really about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. So noticing your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, but not getting carried away by them.
Okay.
Just observing them.
Yeah.
Another practice is gratitude.
Oh.
Taking time to appreciate the good things in our lives can really help us to shift our focus to the present moment.
So instead of dwelling on the past
Yeah.
or worrying about the future, we're focusing on what we're grateful for right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
And finally, the text talks about the importance of acceptance.
Okay.
Accepting the present moment for what it is, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not what we want it to be.
It's about letting go of resistance, right?
It is, yeah. Letting go of that struggle,
Mhm.
because when we resist what is,
Right.
we create suffering for ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've explored these 7 blind spots, all these different ways that we kind of get in our own way and prevent ourselves from experiencing true happiness and fulfillment. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that self-awareness is key.
Absolutely.
Like once we become aware of these blind spots,
Yeah.
we can start to make different choices.
Yeah.
We can start to live more consciously.
Yes. And I think the content account offers us a really beautiful roadmap for doing just that.
It does. It does. So for our listeners out there, you know, if you're feeling stuck in any area of your life, maybe take a look at these 7 blind spots. See if any of them resonate with you and see if there's anything you can do to start shifting your perspective and creating the life you truly want.
That's a great takeaway.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See you then.